However, when I look at it, the greatest value I see in an enterprise CRM is actually that it helps you execute your company's strategy. That's the ultimate value.
So let's talk about business strategy and executing on that specific strategy. For example, organic growth, growth by acquisition, launching new product portfolios, for example. Why is it so difficult to put in place a new strategy, and why do so many businesses struggle?
So if you think about a company strategy, let's say, and here I'm going to talk strategy not in the purest sense, so just the company's plan for 1, 2, 3 years, maybe 5 years. You don't have to be a Southwest Airlines, you don't have to be an Apple, so any company plan. If you think about it, so it's going to start at the executive level, and it's going to go down through every department of the company. If you think about right there, every department has a different type of leadership. Every department have their own organizational structure, their own org chart, the way they're split up. Every department have their own culture. Even within a department, you could have multiple cultures. They're going to have their different processes and different tools. And some departments might have great tools. Some, everything is manual. They don't have good tools. Some, it's 50-50. And within the different teams, you're going to have maybe very highly skilled people and other people that are more there to execute, and you can't really ask them to do much more. So you see right away the number of variables you're dealing with. And so once a CEO and executive committee launches the new strategy for the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years, the moment it starts trickling down, you're going to see the different horses go at a different pace, and to think that they're going to arrive at the same destination at the same time and everything is going to be hunky-dory, there's no way. And so that's why it's super hard. It's super hard, and there's no magic wand. It's always going to be difficult, but there's ways to go about it to try to maximize success.
So let's dive into that. So what are some of the things that a business can do to ensure success in the execution of their strategy?
Yeah, and here I want to talk about things that are very tangible, very much day-to-day. So I want to go from the theory to the practice. So what can be done in real life to maximize the chances that you're going to realize, you're going to execute your strategy relatively within the time frame that you've set and that it's going to be successful. So how do we either reduce the amount of variables, or we're able to unite all of these teams that are so different with completely different circumstances? So one way to try to unify everybody, go towards the same destination faster together, or minimize the risks. So let's call it the CRM, but in a wider sense. So not just sales, but your enterprise CRM with sales, customer service, marketing. If you have partner portals, most likely integration with your accounting. If you have an ERP, most likely integration with your ERP. And what surprises me is that, and I've been in this business for a few years, and I've been in large and small organizations, I've never heard discussions about viewing the enterprise platform or the enterprise CRM as a strategy enabler. However, when I look at it, the greatest value I see in an enterprise CRM is actually that it helps you execute your company's strategy. That's the ultimate value. Your enterprise CRM is your strategy enabler for your company. So how does it do it? So if everybody's split up, typically you announce a new strategy and nobody feels anything for months. So the strategy is announced, and by the time it trickles down, it can take 6 months, 12 months, 18 months just to trickle down so people can see any change in their day-to-day. Instead of doing that, you can leverage your enterprise platform. Let's say that when you announce your strategy, you've already set up a few dashboards for the company's KPIs related to that new strategy. Maybe you've also set up KPIs per department. And this can be fully transparent. You don't have to reserve this for just the executives. There's many KPIs that you could share with your teams to be transparent with them, to have a single message, everybody going in the same direction, and at the same time empower them about what they can do to realize the strategy. So if you have one message, you're transparent, you're empowering people, they're going to feel more engaged. The other thing I would do on top of KPIs is at least some automations, something tangible. That the day you announce a strategy, if they log into their enterprise platform that they work with every day, there's something new there. There's a button to do something for them. There's something related to the new strategy. So it makes it tangible in their day-to-day. And from there, what you want to do with all your teams is to improve that on a daily, weekly, quarterly basis as fast as they can until you've reached the destination. But it's tangible from day one.
So you're really talking about obviously creating the strategy from a top to bottom approach. But what I'm hearing is you want to, as fast as possible, have that strategy trickle down to everyone, and then have everyone from bottom up be able to take action on this new strategy immediately, see the results in real time in their CRM, and then maybe suggest improvements to go even further in the strategy. So now it's becoming bottom up, correct?
What you're going to see is within your teams, there's going to be different level of acceptance or enthusiasm towards change. So if you make their day-to-day lively with the new strategy, the early adopters and the innovators, they're going to jump on that and they'll build on it. And they're going to be your ambassadors to bring the rest of their teams to the early majority and the late majority, so that everybody jumps on board the new strategy through these internal cultural vectors. What you also mentioned is the actual bottom-up. Even if you have a fantastic strategy and a fantastic planning, the world is changing too fast. So you're going to have to adjust your strategy along the way. 1, 2, 3, 5 years, that's an eternity in today's world. So for sure, your teams, they're going to notice things in the market or with their customers that will require tweaks. And so you enable them to bring that feedback up and to positively iterate, continuously improve on the processes that are there to execute your strategy.
In order to do that, you need a very, very flexible and agile platform, right? If your platform is very rigid, that continuous improvement is just going to be impossible.
Yeah, no, here I am assuming that you're using a platform that's configurable, that enables you to do continuous improvement every week, month, every quarter. And here I'm really saying every week. So a good enterprise CRM should easily enable you to add automations every week for different departments to really live continuous improvement. Because it's not going to be continuous improvement if there's one improvement per year. That's not the time frame.
Exactly.
That's not the time frame, and that's not the speed of the world. The world is going much, much faster than one improvement per year.
So let's maybe talk about some examples. Initially we talked about there are different types of strategies. Strategy by an acquisition, organic growth, entering new markets, launching a new portfolio of products. Maybe take one of those examples and give us, some of the actions or some of the automations that you could put in place to ensure that everyone in an organization is aligned to this new strategy.
Yeah. So let's go, as you say, for a strategy based on our organic growth. That might be based on the existing product or service portfolio, or let's say maybe the company came up with a new solution that's differentiated and they want to launch that. So if there's something new to be launched and sold, of course, there's impact on sales. So within the enterprise CRM, you could right away have guided selling for the new offer. If it requires new types of contracts, renewals, or whatever it may be, you have these types of contracts automated. It's not manual.
And my personal favorite for sales is showing the new commission structure for this new offering to your salespeople, so they know right away and they see the impact that selling this new offer will have on their paycheck, right?
Yeah, you're right. So a new commission, and also, of course, the new targets. I guess that's the easiest one to put in.
Of course.
Dashboards with new targets. So you want to make sure you have your support team, customer service team that's ready. So they have the knowledge base to support new customer calls or customer interactions to support the offer. Marketing, maybe some nurturing campaigns, maybe for existing customers. Maybe your first step into a new offer is to upsell your existing customer with a new offer. So you could easily put in place very quickly new content, nurturing for existing customers, and maybe a nurturing track for new leads for that offer. Of course, integration to accounting, integration to operations if you require that, but you typically do. Even if it's, whether it's software or product, you have that integration. So you make sure there's no mistakes between sales, accounting, and your operations team. If you go through resellers or partners, distributors, maybe you have partner portals. So of course, you want to sprinkle something there for your partners as well. Now, on day one, you're not going to be able to launch with everything done for everyone. But you could easily have some type of guided selling or automated contract ready for your sales team with the KPIs. You could easily have a bit of a knowledge base and KPIs for your customer service team. At least 1 or 2 nurturing content tracks for your marketing team. Your integrations with accounting and ERP should already be there. If that's not done, of course, that's going to take a bit more time, a couple of months. So you're not going to wait a couple of months to announce a strategy, but you can launch it. So every company is going to be different, but there are ways to launch your strategy with some tangible stuff in the day-to-day of the teams. Don't let them wait 12 months until they see anything from the strategy. Because if you announce a strategy and 12 months later they haven't felt anything yet, that's where you're disengaging people and they're not going to listen to you the next time around.
I guess your key message is really, let's make sure we ensure adoption of the new strategy, making sure everyone understands the role that they play, making sure everyone can see the impact, and that you're measuring those key KPIs, not just at the top level, at each department, even sprinkling down to each person in the company. That's how you do change management in large organizations.
You have a new strategy based on a differentiated offer that you're launching. Make sure everybody knows you've sold the first one. And maybe you have another celebration after 10 or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000. But make it visible, tangible for everyone, starting day one. And here's what I like to say. What is the smallest bite that you can implement tomorrow morning? And do that. Do just that. Implement something that brings the strategy to life tomorrow morning.
And create momentum, correct?
Yeah. And if somebody is going to be able to identify that bite, do it. Just do it. The smallest thing to make it alive tomorrow morning.